That little thing looks like a face at the end of the video.
There are faces everywhere. If you watch around in nature, you see like eyes in the mouth everywhere. It kind of scares me.
I think there's kind of like a face on this map. It's like there's the two eyes. Like, oh my gosh, it's Jar Jar Binks.
Wasn't there like a teddy bear?
The Metropolis mini map is Jar Jar Binks, Kev.
Look in the middle. It's like a bear face here. It's like his
There's
nose.
a bear face in the middle?
Yeah, and there's like eye, nose.
Do you not see Jar Jar?
I don't see Jar Jar.
Look. It's eye, and then it comes down here, a little smiley face.
Oh my god, I'm seeing faces everywhere. I have to stop this right now, Ben, before I think I'm going crazy.
Misa cast some StarCraft.
QXC is, of course, our American Purple Terran spawning on 9 o'clock, and Slayers MMA playing on the account Mavengeance is our handsome Korean Terran spawning at 12 o'clock.
I am so excited to see MMA play, Kevin, because this guy has been widely regarded as the #1 Terran on the planet, sort of interchangeably with MVP for a long time, and now, of course, Tasia is one of the absolute top dogs.
Yeah.
But
MMA is still there. Yes, he dropped to Codes, but I mean, if you're in a group with Tasia and MVP.
Yeah, and the other thing about him is we just haven't seen much of him. There was that drama with him at Slayers.
Yeah.
A lot of speculation surrounding what actually happened there, but what we do know is that he was demoted to the B team because of some disciplinary measure. And
definitely not because of his skill level.
No, not at all. And we just haven't seen much from him since then. But now here he is in the North American Star League. He's going to be squaring up against some of the strongest players on the planet. This guy is one of my favorites to be in the final of Season 4.
I'm feeling the same way, Ben. And just to continue a little bit on your thought, what you just started, MMA was supposed to attend the Intel Extreme Masters at Gamescom last month, but he decided to drop out at the final moment because he felt he was not in a good enough shape to participate. And that just made my brain collapse, Ben. Because even in MMA in bad shape, if he goes to a tournament like the Intel Extreme Masters, yes, there were quite a few Koreans there, and it was a very, very tough tournament. MMA can grow into a tournament like no other player, and yeah, that surprised me.
Kevin,
I kind of wonder if it had more to do with the fact of perhaps his travel circumstances, or if Slayers actually want to send him or not. An MVP in not good enough shape, I don't know, man. Sounds so wrong.
Man,
That's not in the dictionary. If you look that up, MMA not in shape, it will say that. If you search it on Google,
that's like saying Frodan's not in shape. You kidding me? That guy's always buff.
if you type in MMA not in shape at Google, Ben, you get 0 hits because that does not exist. We saw QXC, by the way, when going for the no gas pass expand, but he is building the command center in his main base, so he's got different openings over here. He's still teching relatively quick. MMA is going to open up with the Banshee most likely.
I think it's going to be an elevator
place.
It's going to be 3-4 Hellions, 8 Marines, and a medevac.
Oh, but it started with his proxy, then actually
oh no!
the SCV.
QXC spots it, the SCV that MMA does not actually manage to kill with only 3 hit points. Is going to spot this, and that is definitely going to prompt a very defensive reaction out of QXC. This is a great advantage to QXC right now.
Definitely, but still it's a little bit tricky, Ben. As we can see that QXC decided to go for a reactor on his Rex.
Wow.
And he's going to build Hellions then, I guess, to deal with all those Marines. I think this is a very smart decision.
I think MMA made a huge mistake revealing that Hellion, because he had hidden that tech up until this point. QXC doesn't know if it's Proxy Banshee or what. But with the Hellion being out, he's a great player. He knows these builds, and he's probably going to be thinking to himself, okay, let's get a Viking out, let's shut down the medevac, and let's just make sure he doesn't get into my base with Marines and Hellions.
Most importantly, Ben, is getting enough Hellions out, because Hellions are both good against other Hellions and Marines, and that's really all that he has to worry about right now. I really don't think that QXC originally tried to put that factory on the reactor, but I really think it has everything to do with what he saw, and then immediately realizes, hey, I can either produce 2 Marines at a time or 2 Hellions at a time, and I think these Hellions are going to be better right now.
Yep, there goes the Viking, so all QXC has to do is keep this medevac from unloading until that Viking pops out. He will be in fantastic shape. Here it comes, though, and oh no, Hellions on the low ground are going to spot for it a little bit. Those Marines are out of range of the bunker, but just barely taking some heavy splash damage.
A couple of Marines got dropped on the low ground as well. Look at this Marine, Ben, it's stripped! No!
Wow, this is actually Hotel California. We found it.
This is the first time I actually... Look at this Marine! Look at the Marine!
He can't get out, man. He's completely stuck. Billy, why? Just step over the pipe or crawl under, Billy. It's not that complicated.
Look at Billy shooting. He's like, whoa, Billy! Okay. Billy will fall, man. That was an unfortunate Marine. I have never seen that. But what's more important, man, is that QXC defended this brilliantly. He made all the correct calls, and he's in excellent shape right now.
0 losses incurred. Might lose this Viking. It is taking some serious fire.
Wow, QXC is doing this so well.
Yeah, just beautiful play from QXC. And Kevin, I mean, MMA is a world-class Terran, but QXC's no slouch, and if you give him the advantage of revealing your hand, he's going to crush you every time.
QXC right now, man, at 37 SCVs. This was a build created to deal some economic damage. I mean, you can always go with a fast expand or not. The moment you don't go with fast expand and TVT, 8 out of 10 times you're going to have to deal some economic damage somehow, some way, which is most of the time inevitable because you're going to have way more units. But QXC scouting that starport and then also putting the reactor on the factory, just straight up brilliance.
Not only does QXC have the SCV advantage, he's got double orbital, Kev. MMA still hasn't finished that command center much yet, much less does he have the capacity for double mule drops. Additionally, QXC going to start to harass a little bit with these Hellions, just going to be as annoying as he possibly can.
There is an orbital in the main base, so if QXC
is
going to give
triple orbital,
yes, he went to triple
goodness.
command center. Oh my damn! Oh my goodness! QXC is gonna that's 4 SCV run into 6 Hellions. QXC is gonna find the confirmation there is a command center there, but I guess he's a little bit confused about what is really going on.
Yeah, and there's a good chance that he's thinking exactly what I was thinking, that that's only the first command center.
Behind that one.
No, he's actually spotted all the command centers. I'm a total liar. He knows exactly what he's playing against. And that's why he's getting his own 3rd command center. QXC's playing pure mech right now. MMA is playing Bio Siege Tank. So if the more mobile army does go to MMA, this does give him a lot of power to make plays. Mobility is that's the primary playmaker. Oh, Medevac's going to get loaded up.
Oh, and all the units from MMA are on the low ground right now. QXC might be able to deal an insane amount of damage.
He's going to also poke forward with these 2 Hellions at the front just to say, hey, look at me. And MMA a little bit slow reacting to this drop. That means SCVs are definitely going to fall. How many?
Oh, all the SCVs lining up.
10 worker kills already. Might get a couple more. He still has 4 Hellions alive up in the main base. QXC looking for an evac, but the medevac is not there. At the same time, we've got more run by happening in the natural. MMA has pulled his entire army to defend the main base. That means he's losing massive amounts of workers in the natural, and QXC putting on the clinic. 22 SCV kills. And he's going to get 1 or 2 more before these Hellions finally get cleaned up. Brilliant play from the American Terran.
Absolutely insane play here by QXC, taking out 25 SCVs. Worker count right now shows us, man, oh, that's a little bit sloppy, but we're going to close our eyes on that because what he did before was pure brilliance. 51 SCVs, 52 against 25. QXC in fantastic shape.
All he has to do is survive this next push that MMA throws his way. MMA might not even try to do that. He does have triple
QXC doing
still.
so smart, man. QXC knowing that he needs to get some time for himself.
So freaking smart. Flies over that supply depot. There's nothing in that medevac, man. It's a fake. So Billy's girlfriend just got shot down. But
that's okay, man, because Billy died over here.
So they can now be together forever in the afterlife, or at least they can meet up again on Ohana.
In Terran Heaven. Terran Heaven would probably be on Ohana. 2 more factories going down for QXC. He's getting medevacs as well. QXC has to know right now that he's in absolutely fantastic shape. And yes, this is Slayer's MMA that he's facing, but this is a huge economic lead.
Yep, QXC does hit a pretty nasty supply block, though. Stuck at 105 and really just now starting those depots.
Blue Flame is ready now as well. Imagine if Blue Flame was ready before, man.
Yeah, that's it's so very painful. QXC's also a little bit late adding new factories. As, he's got 2 more finishing up in his natural just now. So his production has been stalled a little bit, ever so slightly. Hellions do run into the bio. Trades a Hellion for a handful of Marines.
Not too bad. QXC floating over his additional orbital now as well. Still 60 SCVs, man, against 41. I guess that QXC is just going to produce as many real mech units as possible. Of course, so far it's been mostly Hellions. Now the tank production is seriously starting to roll as well. And the armory almost finishes up. Do you think we're going to see a Tor or 2 in the mix as well?
Eventually, but I don't think it's quite that time yet. I think he'll probably wait until he feels like he needs something that can shoot up as well as just blow things up. Watching this, Kevin, makes me feel like, wow, Heart of the Swarm TVT is going to be really cool because not only do we have all these cool mech units, we also have the addition of the Battle Hellion and the Widow Mine, which I think is going to really add so much more depth to the matchup. More Hellion harass here.
Well, nice micro right there by MMA, pulling back those Marines and making sure that the Marauders are still shooting, doing that very well, losing minimum amounts of Marines, but he's still quite far behind.
Yes,
he's still down 20 workers.
20 workers, 40 overall supplies, smaller army, smaller economy, and a much more dire situation. MMA's choice here is to just try and defend these choke points.
The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed by, Ben, is the mech upgrades from QXC.
Oh, wow, you're right. He hasn't even really started them. Armory just now getting going on vehicle weapons. That's a huge misstep. MMA's upgrades aren't fantastic either. He's just at 1-1, but he is finishing up his armory, and he is going to continue to upgrade aggressively here. As soon as that armory finishes, I would wager.
We see a medevac on the right bottom side of this map, Ben, with a couple of Marauders and Marines making its way over into QXC's main base. QXC is going to try to make something happen with
Lonely Hero Marine spots this drop, by the way.
Alright. The purple dot. He's actually too many Hellions right now for these Marauders to deal with, and these Marines, of course, are going to die quite easily as well. Beautiful play by QXC.
Yep, drop going down in the main base from QXC, and the Vikings there as well. At the same time, he's being dropped in the back of his third base by MMA. So a lot of action heating up right here, all at one time. QXC doing a good job responding to MMA's harass, and MMA, of course, doing the same. Neither player taking too much more additional damage.
Yeah, MMA didn't really lose a whole lot over there. Well, QXC took down 7 SCVs, but on this moment I feel that MMA's economy is really quite good. MMA doing a reasonable job at delaying this fourth base a tiny little bit. Oh. This one medevac was just not scary enough. Has to be careful. He's flying. Oh,
that's a.
I guess you can, Ben. Man. On the same moment, MMA is going to move forward, though. He's going to try to siege up in a good position. He's going to take out most of these Hellions.
Killing those Hellions is a small victory for MMA, but the main army for QXC here is so scary. All these siege tanks. And the tanks are going to do so well against the Marauders, against the tanks of MMA.
There's barely any anti-air in the army of MMA as well. Those Vikings, they will always kill each and every single medevac. So that means that MMA is not really going to have any air vision.
QXC is continuing to upgrade Kev. He's got +1 vehicle attacks. He's also finishing at +1 vehicle armor. MMA actually allowing his upgrades to lag a little bit. He's got double eBay, but he's only working on a single one of them.
Yeah, the spinning siege tank there. Time of his life. 3 medevacs full of bio units are flying towards the south side of the map, but there was a single Marine over here as well. QXC doing a really good job. He has to be so careful, by the way, flying with all these bio units. He's going to drop right now on top of these Hellions. He's going to pick a few Hellions up. These units stay my time and going to intercept most of these Hellions.
Yeah, great map awareness there by MMA, just being perfectly responsive. QXC is maxed now. MMA is still about 20 supply down, but he is nearing a max of his own, and a maxed out MMA is capable of some real magic, Kev.
Yep, capable of miracles, certainly because he has quite a few Marauders in the mix. And we have 90 Marauders on the field, Ben. Upgrade-wise, he's still 1-1, but 2-1 is about to finish up, and we all know what Marauders do against siege tanks. They're not quite Warhounds, but they're pretty good.
You kidding me? Pretty good? I would say better, because Warhound is no longer in the game.
Nothing is better than Warhound. Even Void Race died to Warhound. And Warhounds can't even shoot up.
They need Graviton Beam.
MMA's going to siege up with quite a few tanks near MMA's base.
Oh, actually, he's used this drop to pull QXC out of position on the lower half of the map and then moved his tanks forward. So really nice moves here from MMA, who's all of a sudden inside the main base of QXC. Oh, no. QXC, you really need to get back and deal with this. He's going to take some heavy damage here. He's going to lose at least 1 factory. He's already lost a handful of add-ons.
Vikings flying in now as well. They can deal with the medevacs as there are just a few Marines in this mix. QXC, you have so many siege tanks here. Just roll in.
He is going to just roll in, Kevin, and he's not going to siege up. That would.
I don't like this too much. He should have landed the Vikings on top of the tanks. Yes, he will clear up this army of MMA, but not before.
It's a costly exchange. Yeah. In fact, if we look at resources lost, we can see that MMA has just played a brilliant game.
Just turn it around with 5,000 or 6,000 resources. That's crazy. He's going to take out as many missile turrets as possible. Pick up a few SCVs. Yes, the Vikings are here dealing with those medevacs, and these bio units will die. Ooh, if MMA would stim in right now, he would be able to pick up 2 or 3 additional siege tanks.
Yeah, finally this little hit squad gets taken out. The Navy SEALs being dealt with. But the great thing and the awesome thing about MMA's play, Kevin, is the aggression never really ends. We can see him on the move once more.
And during all this, man, QXC's macro really slipped. Of course, he lost a ton of production facilities because MMA focused them. But suddenly being up to 2,700 minerals. Wow,
oh,
MMA.
Man. You're so right, man. MMA continued to just move around the bottom half of the map. QXC was trying to sort of turret up this bottom right base when MMA dropped here, pulling him out of position. Once again, though, MMA is going to do just what we saw, just in different order, moving the army to the bottom right and then dropping on the left side of the map. And again, QXC is so far out of position. And if he comes up with just 2 siege tanks, Kev, he's going to lose those tanks. That is not enough to deal with this aggression.
And he knows it as well. He's going to siege right outside of the range, though, so that is, I guess, sort of okay, but...
Oh, MMA could pick off these upgrading armories. That would be a big deal. At the same time, MMA pushing forward, though, and he catches QXC's army in transition. And he's going to get a lot of units right now. And MMA, who is in such a terrible position, has just completely turned this game around.
Wow.
GG is
unbelievable.
Called. And that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Slayer's MMA for you.
That is MMA.
Oh,
beautiful game. Very well played.
Wow, I mean, QXC just did everything right in the start. He got a little bit fortunate, you might say, with scouting, but hey, how can you say that scouting is lucky? He just spotted the starport, made all the right calls, then countered so well, killed so many SCVs, and I mean, every foreign Terran would have been dead in this situation.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. MMA just using the mobility of that army to spread QXC out and punish. And, you know, Mech is such a strong fighting army, but it is so slow. And I really, truly believe the bigger the map, the worse the Mech.
And Metropolis is quite big. Certainly if you want to take the entire bottom side, and when you go up to 4 or even 5 bases, then there is so much surface area to start dropping. But still, that MMA made this happen, man, I'm kind of blown away. I think that was fantastic, and of course you can always
single-digit workers, was he not?
Yeah, no, he was at 20 when QXC was at close
might as
to
well
60.
have been single digits. It was brutal.
Insane.
Yeah,
really insane.
Really, really great game. That game, of course, was brought to you guys by Cooler Master. Their full line of peripherals and cases and PC-related equipments, including keyboards and mice, available over at coolermaster-usa.com. Go check them out today. We're going to take a very short break, and then we'll be back with more MMA. More QXC, more North American Star League. Don't go anywhere, guys.
No. The other way, Ben. The other way.